थोड़ा देखते रहें क्योंकि एक्सरेज इसके काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट है। Okay, first of all, बच्चों, जो pleura, what is pleura? So the pleura is actually the covering over the lung. These are of the two types, that is visceral pleura, that is inner layer and it is adherent to the lung parenchyma, and the parietal layer that is present on the outside adjacent to the wall. So the parietal pleura cover the inner surface of the thoracic cavity, including the diaphragm and the ribs. And the visceral pleura pleura is then envelope that cover the surface of the lung, including the interlobular fissures as well. And at the hilum, when the pulmonary vessel, bronchiole, and the nerves enter the lung tissue, parietal pleura is continuous with the visceral pleura. So anything which there is a potential space between the parietal pleura and the visceral pleura, and if anything is any collection of the fluid is there, it is called as pleural effusion. It can contain the different things like the hemothorax. There is a blood present between the two layers of the pleura, and this blood can come from the chest trauma, rupture of the aortic aneurysm, or and sometimes due to the malignancies. Hydrothorax is the presence of the proteinaceous fluid into the pleural space, and mostly it occurs due to the congestive cardiac failure. Chylothorax is the presence of the lymph, and it can be due to the neoplastic infiltration or the trauma. And the pneumothorax contain the air that can be spontaneous or the traumatic. So the normally the pleural space in the normal circumstances contain 3.5 to 7 ml of clear fluid liquid. That is only to prevent the friction between the two layers of the pleural space. It has very low protein content, and a very small number of mononuclear cells are there for the immunity only. Whereas the pleural effusion is the presence of large amount of the fluid in the pleural space, irrespective of the underlying cause. So normal pleural fluid formation and absorption are like, if you see it is a longitudinal section of the pleural cavity. On the both side, on the one side there is the parietal pleura, and on the other side there is visceral pleura. And there are the multiple arteries present inside these lining of the pleural cavity. And this parietal fluid is actually come from these arterial the veins, and it goes into the interstitial area and then goes into the potential space. And from the stoma that is present between the cells, it is reabsorbed into the vessels, again into the surface, and goes to the lymphatic and the mediastinal lymph node. So the rate of formation of the pleural fluid is very little, that is 0.02 ml per kg per hour, and the rate of fluid clearance is 0.2 ml per kg/h. Usually, the pleural effusion is noticeable in a patient if the pleural accumulation of the fluid is more than 300 ml in the pleural space. The different pathogenesis for the development of the pleural effusion are the first of all, there is increased capillary permeability. Capillary pressure, when the pulmonary capillary pressure is increased, it forces the fluid out of the capillary into these interstitial space and finally into the pleural cavity, like in the congestive heart failure. Capillary permeability can be increased as in cases of the pneumonia or any other infection is there. If the plasma oncotic pressure is reduced, that is hypalbuminemia, when the protein content of the plasma is reduced, so the more amount of the fluid is pushed into the pleural cavity. Pleural membrane permeability can be increased, as in the malignancy, that can cause the increased amount of the fluid to enter into the pleural space. And other causes which can lead to the pleural permeability change are the lymphatic obstruction. If there is a lymphatic obstruction, reabsorption of the fluid is not done. Diaphragmatic defect, like the hepatic hydrothorax, and it is due to the diaphragmatic, the abdominal, the fluid is entered into the pleural space. Thoracic duct rupture, can occur that lead to the chylothorax. The sign and the symptom in a patient with pleural effusion is usually they depend upon the type of the lesion they have. So the primary symptoms will be the etiology of the pleural effusion. In addition to that, due to the pleural effusion, the patient may have the shortness of the breath. The fluid filling the pleural space make it hard for the lung to fully expand, causing the patient to become more breathless even to get the oxygen. If the parietal pleura is irritated, then the patient develop the mild pain and the sharp stabbing pleuritic pain can be there. Some patients will have the dry cough as well. Occasionally, there is no symptom. This is more likely when the fusion results from the will have not any symptom of respiratory distress, but and this usually occurs in the case of recent abdominal surgery, cancer, and tuberculosis. For evaluation, we take the history from the patient and the physical examination is done. In the history, the patient will have the dyspnea, especially the personal dyspnea. Sometimes the patient will check that they have a physical chest pain. They can be cough, fever, hemorrhagic stage. They can be weight loss depending upon the cause of the pleural effusion. If it is tuberculosis, the patient got the medicine, the patient have hemorrhagic there can be history of the trauma that leads to the development of this uh, uh, pleural effusion, lung cancer, cardiac surgeries can be the physical examination. There is a stony dull on percussion note and decreased breath sounds on that side. Absent tactile perimeters. Other finding will be which can be present, which like the diseases in which there is the systemic other diseases which are also involved, like the ascites, there is JVP, peripheral edema can be there, friction rub can be there, unilateral leg swelling can be there. Okay, so the most important thing in the pleural effusion is its management, and its management include the outer pleural is usually the what we can do is we can put in a syringe and can get the fluid out, or the chest intubation can be done with a drainage bag. But these are only the symptomatic relief. The pleural effusion needs to be investigated first. What is the cause of this pleural effusion? So to see only the pleural effusion, we can do the chest X-ray. If the fluid can be seen at the bottom of the lung and hiding the normal lung texture. If heart failure is present, X-ray may shows cardiomegaly. Ultrasound of the chest can be done if the small effusion is present, or when you have a doubt in your diagnosis. CT scan is usually helpful, but to determine the disease of the patient. If you see, these are only the investigation to see the pleural effusion there. But if the person is having, in addition to these tests, we must do the test to rule out the etiology of the pleural effusion, like the different tests which are done in the malignancies into the pulmonary tuberculosis or the pneumonia. We do all these tests in addition to these tests as well. Indication for the pleural fluid analysis are the two. These are the diagnostic and the therapeutic. Diagnostic is when you want to rule out any underlying disease present to the patient, and therapeutic is usually to relieve the shortening of the breath when the patient is very dyspneic due to this pleural effusion. Therapeutic pleural tap is done to reduce the uh, dyspnea into the patient. The contraindication for the thoracentesis are the bleeding tendencies, like the thrombocytopenia if the platelet count decreased 25,000 into 10 to the raised power 3 of per dl. Prolonged PT APTT, if that it is twice than the normal range, the pleural tap cannot be done. If a very small amount of the pleural fluid is present, avoid doing the pleural tap because you can injure the lung as well. Color of the fluid usually in the different diseases are like the pale yellow or straw colored is present into the tuberculosis. It show it is transudative and some exudate is present there as well. Pale yellow or the straw colored. Red or bloody is present in the malignancy. Turbid is present, the pyogenic infected infusion is there, and the mostly it is due to the pneumothorax. It is due to the pneumonia. Pus can be present in cases of empyema. It can be white, milky color due to the chylothorax or cholesterol in the infusion. Now, how to differentiate between the transudative versus exudative? The transudative, exudative TB and exudative empyema, that is due to the post-pneumonic infusion. फिजिकल एक्सपीरियंस इज यूजुअली ट्रांसुडेटिव में क्लियर होता है, एक्सुडेटिव ट्यूबरकुलोसिस में स्ट्रॉ कलर्ड एंड एक्सुडेटिव एम्पाइमा में द कलर इज टर्बिड. The protein are usually less than 3 grams in transudative. It is more than 3 milligrams in exudative tuberculosis, and again more than 3 gram per deciliter in cases of exudative empyema. Glucose is more than 40 milligram per deciliter in transudative, whereas in exudative TB or empyemic, it is less than 40 milligram per deciliter. Pleural protein divided by serum protein, if we compare both of these, it is less than 0.5 milligram per deciliter. It is less than 0.5 in case of transudative and more than 0.5 in case of exudative. Pleural fluid LDH level divided by serum LDH level, it is less than 0.6 in transudative and more than 0.6 in exudative tuberculosis. Pleural fluid pH is more than 7.2 in cases of transudative and less than 7.2 in case of exudative pleural fluid. Microscopy will show no cells in case of transudative, whereas in exudative tuberculosis, poly is predominantly lymphocytes will be there, and in exudative, usually the polys are there. Causes of transudates and exudates are the different. Like transudative causes of pleural effusion are usually left heart failure, hypoproteinemia, constrictive pericarditis, hypothyroidism, and cirrhosis. Whereas exudative causes are bronchial pneumonia, carcinoma of bronchus, pulmonary infarction, tuberculosis, and connective tissue diseases. ओके ना, ये अब आप लोगों के करने का काम है. ये बताइए मुझे कि इस एक्सरे में क्या है. अब चैट बॉक्स में ऑन करती हूँ. You people tell me what is this X-ray? How you describe this X-ray? So गए सारे? जी बच्चों, ये एक्सरे क्या है? किस जगह का एक्सरे है? नॉर्मल है, एबनॉर्मल है? आवाज आ रही है? हेलो, हाँ जा रही है आवाज. जी बेटा, ये नॉर्मल चेस्ट एक्सरे है. ये सिर्फ आपको मैंने इसलिए रखकर दिखाया है ताकि आपको पता चले कि हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू रीड एन एक्सरे. If you see this chest X-ray, it is the chest X-ray PA view. PA because we can say this is PA because in the PA view, the clavicles are always inclined or the obliquely present. The three ribs are above the level of clavicle because this is the clavicle, and the 1, 2, 3 ribs are above the clavicle. And the AP view, the clavicles are usually horizontal and above the costal margin. यहाँ पे होती हैं दोनों तरफ. So this is the PA view because the clavicle is inclined and 3 ribs are visible above the uh, uh, clavicle. This is the trachea. It is central. The most important thing in respiratory system is concentrate on trachea, that it is central or not. Then you look at the lung margin. These are very defined margins and the edges on the lung. This is called as costophrenic angle and this is called as cardiophrenic angle on the both sides. This one and this one. The right side is always above the left side because of the presence of the liver. And then this is the shadow of the heart present. Usually the heart is 1/3 is, if you draw a line in the center of the chest where my arrow is, the 1/3 of the heart is on the right side and 2/3 of the heart is on the left side. So this is a normal heart shadow. It is an X-ray of an adult patient, not a child, because there is a aortic knuckle is there. It is absent into the kids. And also the hilar lymph nodes are there, but these are the normal broncho bronchial vascular marking present. These are the light shadowing the bilaterally. So this is a normal chest X-ray of an adult PA view with the clear costophrenic and cardiophrenic angles bilaterally. Why it is important? Because in the next X-ray you will find another thing. Now tell me what is the abnormality here. From where you start? From the trachea. If you concentrate on the trachea is central. Then comes the lung fields. Anybody, what is the abnormality there? Comment on the right side, on the left side. Anyone? जी बच्चों, किसी को कोई abnormality नजर आ रही है एक्सरे में? जी इतने ढेर सारे पार्टिसिपेंट हैं बच्चों, कोई तो बताए. कार्डियोमेगली, चलो और कुछ बेटा. सारों के सारे प्रेजेंट हैं जी. कार्डियोमेगली कैसे बेटा? कार्डियोमेगली है अभी मैंने आपको बताया नॉर्मल चेस्ट एक्सरे पे कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू विल सी द ट्रेकिया, इट इज सेंट्रल और नॉट द ट्रेकिया इज सेंट्रल. Then you concentrate on the lung field. On the right side, costophrenic and cardiophrenic angles are visible, although they are not very clear. If you compare it with the previous X-ray, these are not very sharply edged as it was in the previous X-ray. But on the right side, if you see, the cardiac shadow is this one. On the 1/3 is on the left side and almost 2/3 is over here. If it was a cardiomegaly, it should have been whole of the heart, not only the lower part of the heart. And if you concentrate here, there is no costophrenic and the cardiophrenic angle visible. If it was cardiomegaly, no better, not left ventricular hypertrophy. If it was left ventricular hypertrophy, you must be able to see the costophrenic and the cardiophrenic angle. Like in the previous X-ray, if we compare this with the previous X-ray, if it was a cardiomegaly, only this part should be enlarged. But this costophrenic and the cardiophrenic angle should be visible bilaterally, which is not visible in the next X-ray. If you see this, there is a homogeneous opacification here in the lower part of the right side of the lung. Although it is the irregular, the lung border are irregular on the other side as well. So there must be any pathology involving this area, but it is quite visible on the right side. If you see the cardiac angles or cardiac border is not visible in the lower 1/3 of the lung. So it is a lung pathology, it is not the heart. If the heart was involved, it should have been increased from the above as well. It is a lung which is not visible. It is not the heart. If it was the heart, there should be present the cardiophrenic and the costophrenic angle should be there, which are absent now. And if you also see this thing is going upward with a concave upper margin. So it is a pleural effusion, right-sided pleural effusion present. That is a homogeneous opacification which obliterate the cardiophrenic and the costophrenic angles and with a concave upper margin. This is, if you concentrate on that, patient is having a continuous dark, क्या कह सकते हैं उसको, hyperlucent shadow that is going upward along the lung margin. This is a typical feature which show that it is a pleural effusion. Okay, now on the next X-ray, what is this? G. What is this? If you look at this X-ray again, the trachea is central, then there comes the lung borders both side. On the left side, costophrenic and the cardiophrenic. Costophrenic, cardiophrenic, that is the air bubble into the stomach. This is the cardiophrenic angle and this is the costophrenic angle. Both are quite visible without any abnormality. But if you go on the right side, left side, there is the opacification or obliteration of the angle, costophrenic angle here. And this costophrenic angle with a concave border. And this is concave border always shows that there is a somewhat type of the fluid there. which has accumulated into the pleural cavity, and due to the capillary action, it has also gone upward along with the lung margin. And similarly, if you see on the lateral X-ray, you have two costophrenic angle, anterior and the posterior. That is the anterior and it is the posterior. So if you see here on the right side, the costophrenic angle, anterior costophrenic angle is not visible. It is rounded, whereas the posterior it is quite visible. And also there are keys of pacification into the lung present, which show that the patient is having a bronchopneumonia. If you concentrate on here, the patient is having a consolidation developing over there, and so it may be due to the lobar pneumonia which has caused this pacification. जी बच्चों, कोई अभी confusion इसमें एक्सरे में? Okay, what is this? Now tell me. जी, anyone? जी बेटा. जी बेटा, क्या है इस एक्सरे में? अब तो पता चल गया. एनीवन, क्या है बेटा इस एक्सरे में पेशेंट को, राइट लंग और लेफ्ट लंग में? जी बेटा, एनीवन, इस एक्सरे पे क्या है? अगर आप देखें तो इस एक्सरे में भी आपका उसी तरीके से, बल्कि यहाँ पे अगर आप देखें तो ट्रेकिया ये है, लेकिन अगर आप लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ राइट लंग को देखें तो यहाँ पे एक बहुत बड़ा कंसोलिडेटिव पैच अपीयर होना शुरू हुआ है. इसी तरीके से लेफ्ट साइड पे होगा, लेकिन अगर आप लेफ्ट साइड पे देखें तो यहाँ पे अगेन ब्लंटिंग है दोनों एजेस की, और इसको प्लूरल एफ्यूजन है. ओके जी, प्लूरल एफ्यूजन में और क्या हो सकता है? हाउ यू अप्रोच टू अ चाइल्ड विद प्लूरल एफ्यूजन? पेशेंट विद abnormal chest radiograph, if it is there, as we have seen the different x-rays, suspect the pleural disease, blunting of the costophrenic angle, if there are there, yes, then lateral decubitus chest x-ray is done. If the fluid thickness is more than 10 millimeter, diagnostic thoracosynthesis is done. And if the fluid thickness is less than 10 millimeter on this lateral X-ray, we just only observe and avoid the uh, thoracosynthesis, because there are the chances we can injure the lung. So again, this is the lateral decubitus X-ray, and this is the frontline X-ray, the X-ray which I have shown you earlier, that there was the pleural effusion, evidence of pleural effusion there. This is the way you see the what is the AP diameter and how much thickness of the lung is there. It is another X-ray and it shows this is a lung parenchyma and whole of the fluid is there. So that is a very large amount of the pleural fluid into the cavity. Diagnostic thoracosynthesis is done, and if the serum protein to pleural to serum protein is more than zero point 0.5, or serum to pleural fluid to serum LDH level is 0.6, more than 0.6, we consider it as that the patient is having exudative type of the pleural effusion. The appearance of the fluid, pH, electrolyte and cytology are done. सबसे important either cytology and the Gram and Zn staining of the fluid is done to see if their microbacteria is present there, that can be differentiated. And then the culture of that is also done, and the differential cell count is done into the pleural fluid to reach a diagnosis. If it is transudative, then we consider the different diagnosis comes under the heading of transudative pleural effusion. Like we do the further test to rule out any congestive heart failure. Then we look for the liver profile completely to see if the patient is developing a cirrhosis or the patient is having a nephrosis. That is, the renal causes are differentiated, and the most common renal causes which can cause these kind of the pleural effusion are the nephrotic syndrome and the AGN. So the treatment, so the most important rule for the treatment of pleural effusion is the treatment of the underlying cause. In addition to that, I have already discussed what treatment can be done to the pleural effusion is only we can aspirate the pleural effusion, we can give the Lasix or the other diuretics to reduce the amount of the fluid in the pleural cavity, but all of these things are not effective for a long-term treatment. So the treatment of the pleural effusion is to identify the cause and treat that cause which is causing this pleural effusion to accumulate here. In some kind of the malignant effusion, especially when the lung parenchyma is involved in the malignancy, and this pleural effusion usually rapidly develop within the 24 hours, and even if you try to like drain it out, it can accumulate it within few hours. The thing can be done is you usually this pleural cavity is obliterated by the different medical and the surgical way to so when there is no cavity, no fluid can be accumulated there. ओके, व्हाट इज दिस एक्सरे? अब इस एक्सरे में मुझे बताएं बच्चों क्या है, ताकि हम उसके मुताबिक आगे चलें। ये डिफरेंट एक्सरे है, दैट इज नॉट द सेम। जी, ये क्या एक्सरे है और ये राउंडेड चीज क्या है, इस साइड में और इस साइड में क्या फर्क है, फिर हम आगे चलेंगे। जी जी बच्चों, एनीवन, इस एक्सरे में क्या है? जी बेटा, आप बताओगे तो अगला लेक्चर आगे चलेंगे ना कि इस एक्सरे में क्या है। जी बेटा, इस एक्सरे में क्या है? जी बेटा, किसी को नहीं पता चल रहा? बेटा, इस एक्सरे में क्या है जी, एनीवन? आवाज आ रही है मेरी? बेटा, अगर आप इस एक्सरे को देखो तो आपको पता चलेगा कि इसमें ट्रेकिया जो है वो तो सेंट्रल है, लेकिन अगर आप राइट और लेफ्ट को कंपेयर करें तो राइट साइड पे आपको ब्रोंको एल्वियोलर मार्किंग यहाँ कहीं नजर नहीं आ रही। जो ब्रोंको एल्वियोलर मार्किंग इधर नजर आ रही है आपको, पूरा लेंग का पेरेन्काइमा इस साइड पे नहीं नजर आ रहा। और ये जो राउंडेड सा एक शेडो पड़ा है, ये लंग है जो कोलैप्स होकर नीचे पड़ा है। तो होल ऑफ दिस साइड इज कवर्ड विद, किस चीज से कवर हो सकती है जब वो पेशेंट को नहीं पता चल रहा क्या हो सकता है वहां पे? दैट इज द pneumothorax, air in the lung. It is the pneumothorax which has displaced the lung downward, और आपको वहां पे पूरा लंग के कोलैप्स लंग है, और यहाँ लंग मार्किंग नजर आ रही है, यहाँ नहीं नजर आ रही है। अब हम दूसरा लेक्चर आपके साथ शेयर करेंगे। लोग खत्म कैसे हो गया? मैंने तो स्लाइड चेंज की थी। मैंने तो लेक्चर चेंज किया। जी बच्चों, तो हमारा दूसरा आज का टॉपिक है pneumothorax. So what is the pneumothorax? The pneumothorax is the accumulation of air into the thoracic cavity. These pneumothorax are further divided into the two types. These are the spontaneous pneumothorax and the traumatic pneumothorax. The spontaneous pneumothorax can be further divided into the primary and the secondary. वो हम आगे चल के देखेंगे कि primary reasons क्या हो सकते हैं and secondary reasons क्या हो सकते हैं. And then there comes the traumatic pneumothorax. It is further divided into iatrogenic and non-iatrogenic. Iatrogenic is usually due to the interventional procedure like the bypass surgery, cardiothoracic surgery. Any type of the surgery can lead to the development of the pneumothorax into the lung. So they already know that this complication can be there. So they manage it accordingly very effectively during the procedure. And the other causes of iatrogenic cause is positive pressure ventilation. In the ventilation, when you are giving the air into the lung at a very high pressure, the sometimes due to the desynchronization of to the lung and the ventilator movements, there can occur the pneumothorax, and this is the largest reason of iatrogenic pneumothorax, which is very common into the intensive cares, especially in the patients who are on the ventilation. They usually develop it very frequently due to the mismatched ventilation. Then the traumatic comes under the heading of traumatic or the non-iatrogenic causes like the penetrating chest traumas, different kinds of that can be due to the accidental, non-accidental, whatever is there. And then there can be the blunt trauma to the chest. Due to the some these are also accidental with when the patient fell. Obviously outside the lung there is no any abnormality. Like inside patient may develop the pneumothorax. So the primary or the spontaneous pneumothorax, the patient usually have, it occur in the young healthy adults without any underlying disease and the most common into the men. It is due to the rupture of the subapical pleural bulb mostly. The predisposing factors are the smoking, thin and tall and thin males are more susceptible of developing this pneumothorax. Recurrence rate in a patient who develop the primary spontaneous pneumothorax is usually 50% on the same side and the 10% on the other side. Usually, the spontaneous pneumothorax mostly occur due to the subpleural blebs. Subpleural blebs, if you look at this autopsied its lung, these light blue colored areas are the subpleural blebs. The subpleural blebs, these are usually located into the apical region, and they are usually not one or two, they are multiple into the lungs which have these blebs. These blebs are actually the lung parenchyma which fail to develop normally into the fetal life, and there are the few cysts or the or the areas, gas filled areas are present there. They are attached to the bronchus, but there is no spongy lung tissue present there, and they have a very thin wall. And under any circumstances, they are very prone to get rupture and release the air into the pleural cavity. So that is why these patients which once have the spontaneous pneumothorax, they have a very high chances of having the second episode of pneumothorax in any time in their life. Secondary pneumothorax that can occur usually due to the lung diseases, which leads to the formation of the any soft point into the lung, like the cavitary lesion that are present into the tuberculosis, cystic lung diseases, the diseases, emphysematous bullae, if they are formed, pneumatocoel in cases of pneumonia. After the pneumonia, if the pneumatocoels are produced, they can cause a secondary pneumothorax. Traumatic pneumothorax, usually the accidental trauma, that is the blunt trauma with fracture of the rib, can cause the pneumothorax. Then penetrating chest trauma like stabbing wound or the gunshot wound can cause the pneumothorax. Iatrogenic causes of positive pressure ventilation. I have already described this, that the positive pressure ventilation is very common cause of iatrogenic pneumothorax into the ICUs, and any patient who is on ventilator is suddenly develop the respiratory distress and the desaturation are usually those who develop these pneumothorax. Interventional procedures also कर सकते हैं, like if you are doing the biopsies of the lung, thyracosynthesis in the process of thyracosynthesis, it's complication that can lead to the uh, pneumothorax and simply CVP lines, passage of CVP line. If rupture the pleura can cause a pneumothorax. Pathogenetically, pneumothorax is of three types, that is the closed, open, and the tension pneumothorax. The closed pneumothorax are the pneumothorax in which the air in the, this is if you see on the leftmost side of the screen, the air in the pleural, there is an air in the pleural space and the lung is compressed or collapsed around the bronchus, and there is the air inside the lung, but this air in the pleural cavity has no connection with the outside environment. This is called as the closed pneumothorax. In the open pneumothorax, if you see the position of the arrow, this says there is a communication with the outside cavity present into the, and the air enters into the lung directly from this lung trauma site. There is a tension pneumothorax in which if you see it is quite different from the other. The trachea is not central in it, it is pushed towards the right side. And the lung parenchyma is also pushed towards the right side. The heart is also pushed toward the other side, and there is an open wound present which allows the, it can be into the chest cavity, it can be inside the lung where like the post ventilation, but the air enters into the cavity in this. In the closed pneumothorax, what happens is the pleural tier is closed, so there is no communication of this cavity with the outside. The pleural cavity fluid pressure is usually less than the atmospheric pressure in this condition. Open pneumothorax, the pleural tier is usually open, which allow the free passage of the air in and out of this cavity. The pleural cavity pressure is usually equal to the atmospheric pressure, so the air can enter and leave depending upon which side of the pressure is increased for a time. But it is usually open area, so tension is not produced, although the patient is in the distress, but the condition is not very sick. Whereas in the tension pneumothorax, the pleural tier act as a valve-like mechanism. It allows the air to enter into the pleural cavity, but it does not allow the air to escape from the pleural cavity. So more and more air enters into the pleural cavity, but cannot go out. So that is the reason in the previous picture I have shown, this is the tension pneumothorax. The more air come inside the pleural cavity and which is unable to escape from this pleural cavity. So this put on pressure on the other lung as well and the heart as well. And so this patient can is in a very serious condition because the other lung is also compromised and the heart function is also compromised. Okay, these are the just to make you understand what are the different reasons for the patient with the severe distress. These are the 6 P's of dyspneas are there. Dyspnea is more common in the 2-year spontaneous pneumothorax. Okay, if you see it, there are the different reasons that is a possible foreign body can be there which has caused a severe episode of the dyspnea, pulmonary embolism. These are the acute cases of the dyspnea. Then there come the pulmonary embolus, and the pleural effusion can be there. Heart failure can be there, that is called as the pump failure, that can cause the heart to compromise. Then there comes the pneumothorax and the pulmonary bronchial vasoconstriction. Can pulmonary bronchial vasoconstriction at times can cause this dyspnea as well. And then the pruritic chest pain can be there. रेडियोग्राफिकली मैनिफेस्टेशन ये आपके इंटरेस्ट के लिए है ज़्यादातर एक्सरे, इसलिए अगर आप देखेंगे तो आपको फ़ायदा होगा. इन द एरेक्ट पोजिशन, air is in the epicollateral pleural space. This is the space. This, if you concentrate on this is the lung border there. This one is the lung border, and this is a clear area which shows the fluid is in the pleural cavity. So in the erect posture, the fluid always accumulate on the upper part of the upper epicolateral pleural space, whereas in the decubitus ulcer, that is the X-ray taken when the patient is lying on the bed. And if you see this patient, this is the black area around the heart, which shows that the lung that this is the uh, air into the lung, which is into the lying position. It usually come around as a line around the viscera. So the pneumothorax, when seen with the pneumothorax in the erect position, can be small pneumothorax, large pneumothorax, or the tension pneumothorax. And differentiate कैसे करेंगे? Small pneumothorax apical lucency होगी, large pneumothorax में the lucency will be more than 2 centimeter. Okay, and visible pleural lines can be present in the both. Tension pneumothorax lungs is usually collapsed with the sternal shift is there. Left low flat diaphragm is there. In the supine position, deep costophrenic sulcus can be there, and usually the line around the heart is there. If you see this lung X-ray, this is what you see in this lung X-ray. That is a small pneumothorax. If we see in the lung, This is the lung shadow. If you compare it with the previous X-ray, and now I will mark the line which will show you the lung border, and the remaining, this is the upper border of the lung there, and the remaining part of the black area is the pneumothorax. That is the air in the, and beyond this line, the area is black, and it shows you that there is the lung, there is the air into the lung. Similarly, what is the problem in this X-ray? Look at this X-ray and observe it. So this is what where the lung border is present. So it is more than 2 centimeter area, which involve the upper part of the lung. So it is a pneumothorax present there, large pneumothorax. Then there come this one. Now it is very obvious in this X-ray. What is obvious? Tell me. Did you see that? Anyone? जी बच्चों. If you look at this, if you look at this is the trachea, and this is the lung border on the left side. There is also a small rim of air present there. But if you see there, it is all is the blackened area with the dipping down or your beaking down of this costophrenic angle, and the whole of the lung is very dark, showing that the lung is collapsed, and this is the air into the lung. The pneumothorax is there. Similarly, this is a tension pneumothorax. If you see this patient into who is on the ventilator, and this is the right side and this is the left side, there is a visible bulge on the left side of the chest. So this is a X-ray of this patient, which shows that the left side, the trachea is shifted toward the right side, heart is shifted toward the right side, that is collapsed lung. This is the depressed hemidiaphragm, and the whole of the side is filled with the air, and this air is pressing upon the other side of the lung and the heart as well, which will compromise its cardiopulmonary status within, if not treated immediately. So this is a tension pneumothorax. This is again a tension pneumothorax, and if you see that the heart is shifted toward the other side, trachea is shifted. This is the deep down or the beaking down of the diaphragm, and the lung collapse is here. And if you see, there is no lung marking here. So this is the tension pneumothorax which has caused the displacement of mediastinum as well. Now look at this. This is again a visceral pleural line present. ये this is the visceral pleural line. Lung के इर्द गिर्द एक line मौजूद है जो show कर रही है. This is the air and this is the lung. This is a CT scan of the lung showing the emphysematous bulla, which has caused the pneumothorax as well. Look at this. P is for the pneumothorax and the B is for the bulla. So this is the cystic lesions of the lung, cystic lung disease, which has caused the lung parenchyma to develop into the bullas, and if you see, multiple areas of the pneumothorax are there. This is in the supine position, deep costophrenic sulcus. If you see, this is a mediastinal contour. If you see around the heart, there is a sharp black line. It shows that there are the multiple areas of the pneumothorax present there. Double diaphragm. If you look at the lower area, it looked like that the patient is having two diaphragm there. What is this? Lucent cardiophrenic sulcus. If you see that the cardiophrenic sulcus, again, there is the air in this area, which shows that the pneumothorax is there. This is the large pneumothorax. If you see on the right side of the left lung, this is the left lung. And this is the large pneumothorax. It has caused the lungs to collapse at this level. The remaining chest cavity is filled with the air. This is a CT scan of to show the pneumothorax. This red area is the pneumothorax. If you compare it with it, there is no lung marking in this area. And this area, the lung is pushed toward that side. So this is the pneumothorax. Ultrasound in pneumothorax is usually seen, sometimes done to see the lung parenchyma or any pathology present there, but ultrasound also tells us if it is loculated or the lung, if there are the blebs or the cystic areas in the lungs are present. Complication of pneumothorax are reoccurrence in cases of spontaneous pneumothorax, tension pneumothorax, hydropneumothorax. It can change into hydropneumothorax and cystic pneumothorax, which are covered with on the septas on the other sides, and it is very difficult to get rid of them. Failure to have expansion of the cleft lung. Re-expansion pulmonary edema can be there. Bronchopleural fistula can form sometime, and the pneumomediastinum can develop. टेंशन न्यूमोथोरैक्स आपको मैंने बताया है। तो बच्चों ये क्या है एक्सरे, आखिरी 5 मिनट्स में बताएं इसमें क्या नजर आ रहा है आपको। ये क्या एरिया है, लंग अगर देखें तो नीचे कंप्रेस्ड है और ये एक क्लियर एरिया मौजूद है, ये दैट इज एम्फेसिमेटस बुला। अगर इसमें भी आप देखें तो लंग पेरेन्काइमा, लंग मल्टीपल एरियाज ऑफ राउंडेड शैडोज ऑफ न्यूमोथोरिक्स भी है, तो से एम्फेसिमेटस बुलाज हैं और उसके साथ साथ न्यूमोथोरिक्स हैं, बायलेटरल न्यूमोथोरिक्स है और एम्फेजीमा मौजूद है। ओके जी बच्चों, थैंक यू एंड ईद मुबारक टू यू ऑल इन एडवांस। एंड इंशाल्लाह देखें कब सिचुएशन क्लियर होती है और हम मुलाकात होती है। ओके
खत्म
जी,
हो गया मैडम का।